Alright, so this is the Swords and Wizardry official release video. I am going to try to not stream of consciousness and go in a linear fashion, but no promises. Alright, so first off, I'm working with a couple of guys on this. Slavine helped me do the development for the books for Matt Finch. The core rules are posted on the Forge by Mythmere Games, so that's pretty sweet. The other guy I started working with was Michael Potter. When I came out with the rule set a couple weeks ago, or maybe a month ago now, it was just vanilla Swords and Wizardry. He kind of introduced me to all these other white box games, and so I said it would be kind of neat to have one rule set to rule them all, kind of thing. And so that's what I did. So this rule set will actually work with Swords and Wizardry, Operation White Box, World War II, White Star, and Eldritch Tales, which is a Lovecraftian horror RPG game. Now, to access those, you're going to do that via the options menu here. So let's see where we at here. That's effects, modifiers. My stream is blocking it, so I always have to find it. Okay, so you go down here and you can actually select your game. Choose a rule system. White Box, White Star, Eldritch Tales. Now, you want to make sure you're selected on the right one before you start. And this actually is going to change character sheets. It's going to change how bonuses are handled. It's going to change roles. It's going to change everything. Okay. So now if this is kind of like a Swiss Army knife rule set, okay? So if I was going to make just an Eldritch Tales rule set, I would probably do it a little bit different, the way everything's laid out. So just be aware of that. It's totally works well, looks good, but I would probably do things a little bit different. But I thought it would be neat to have one rule set for everything. So anyways, let's get into it. So we're going to make a character. So the first thing I'm going to do is make sure I have some books loaded up here. So I don't have the referee's book, but I can sure as heck load that. So we're just going to type in swords. And we're just going to load the referee's book. Now, the core book that Mythmere is selling all 4 of these, okay? So you get all 4 books for, it's like 25 bucks. So I don't do the pricing. That's his pricing. We kind of talked about it a little bit, but I think that's pretty reasonable. It's, you know, 8 bucks, less than 8 bucks a book. I mean, it's, what is that, $6 and a quarter? Yeah, I mean, that's pretty cheap, guys. So support Mythmere, and you can support the guys that develop these books. So the first thing we do is we're going to create a character. All right, now I'll go through the other rule sets in different videos as those core books come out. Michael's working on them. He's working with the IP owner, and they're also going to be posted on the Forge. Operation White Box will be next, and he said he's about 95% done with it. So, but we're just going to do this one. So just like, you know, it's an OSR game, you roll your attributes up, and we give them some attributes. I'm just going to type some stuff in here. Okay, now, so if I hold down Control, I can use my mouse wheel, and you can see as I change the attribute, it actually adjusts that. You know, same thing with Dex. See how the AC is changing? This is all descending AC, okay? Now, when I do Strength, notice the open doors and carry mod changes, but the damage and bonus hit doesn't, because in Swords of Wizardry, only a fighter gets those. So we're just going to make it 17, so I'll show you. And again, this is rollable. This is rollable. They're all rollable. Okay, so that's kind of cool, right? Now in the other games, like in Eldritch Tales, when you roll this ability check, it's a feat, and I think it's a D6, and so it's actually going to roll like that. It won't be the D20, so just be aware of that. All right, so we have surprise and we have initiative down here. You just double click them. Okay, you can see my surprise roll. This shouldn't roll because he's not a cleric. Okay, so let's make the character. So first we're going to do race. We're going to make him a dwarf. So I'm just going to take dwarf and I'm going to drag it in here. You can see his dark vision updates. Okay, and we're going to go to class and we're going to make him a fighter. And we're going to drag it on there, and it's going to roll his hit points. Nice. Got a 7 hit point roll. Okay, now a dwarf does get something. It gets a +4 on magic saving throws against any magic. So what I did was I added a little, because they just have one saving throw to kind of rule them all here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to click on this little button, and we're going to add it. And we're going to say, I don't know, I'm just going to say dwarf. Now, so this is kind of like, I kind of made this sandboxy, right? So again, we're using this on 4 different rule sets, and so 4 different games. So it's kind of sandboxy, right? But they all kind of work the same because they're all based off the same mechanic. So +4 magic, and so we're just going to type a 4 in there. Now, so when he wants to roll this, he can just open this up and roll it right there, and it's going to a success. Neat, right? So 17 would be a failure, but he gets a -4 because of the 4 modifier, and it's success. So that's there. Let's see, what else is on this page? I think that's about it that's automated. We can go to abilities and see that these abilities were added. Strength bonus is added, right? Multiple attacks, talks about it. These are all just not rollable. The skills up here are rollable. Let's say you wanted to homebrew this and dwarfs get construction tricks. Okay, I can just say he's going to be success on a 2, and I'm going to say it's a d6 roll. Okay, and so when I roll this, it's going to roll a d6, and I can make this d100. Okay, and I can see it's a 50, so he's got a 50% chance, and in this case it's a failure. Let's see if we can get below 50 so I can show you. 2 63s in a row. Okay, success. So anyway, so like that's totally sandboxy, right? So you could totally do whatever you want with that, and it actually makes up a little link there, right? So what that is because you can actually make your skills up for the different games, and you can drag them in there, okay? And so that's just something that's on that tab. Okay, so powers tab. This is where you would have spells, okay? So these slots are going to get automatically updated. What you do is you just click to add an item, and then we're going to edit this. Now dwarves don't get any powers or spells, but if he did, we would say level 1, and we would close out the editing, and you can see I have a blank one here. Now I'm going to go and fix this in the rule set. So there's going to be a little box here where you can just take the spells and drag it in there. I'll show you, in fact. So if I go over to spells, and we're just going to give him 1. It doesn't matter. Animate dead. Okay, so you'll just be able to drag it in there. Now, again, I'm going to update the rule set so you don't have to click this. But if you wanted to add a custom power in there, you just add a custom power, and then you could go in here and say custom power, and you could totally update this so that it'll roll for everything. Okay, so now it's not going to roll because there's nothing in there, but this will roll. Animate object. Oh, why does it roll with damage on that? Let's see, a stone statue. Oh, because he, oh look, so he coded this. So Dead Hand coded this, so he coded it as the stone statue. That's why. Interesting. Okay, so you can roll for your stone statue. That's interesting. That's one way to do it. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with that. We can actually go and minimize this. So the other thing with spells is we can go to prepare, and let's say he memorized this 4 times. Okay, and then we go to combat, and then we go to cast. It'll let you cast it, and now it's not going to let you cast it. Okay, now it says cast with a save there because the saves are automated. If you target and there's a save involved, like a fireball, it should automate that. Okay, all right, so that's that tab. Now I'm going to go talk about this vehicle tab just because it's on here. I could probably script around and make it hidden for Swords and Wizardry, but Matt talks about siege combat and siege weapons, so this would totally work for siege combat and siege weapons, but this tab is mainly for White Star, for like tanks and Operation White Box and stuff like that. But you could totally do like a siege weapon with it. So, and I'm just going to show you. So I made this Trojan horse here. I didn't give it any crazy stats. I just gave it hit points and armor, gave it a movement. Now it has assault vehicle. I might go add something in there like siege weapon probably. Some of this is going to be blank again because this is for multiple rule sets. Okay, so you just leave it blank. And then what we do is we I don't even know. Can I give him a better token? Let's do portraits data. I've got some weird tokens in here, guys. Okay, here's a Trojan horse. How about that? Okay, so the Trojan horse, Mr. Ed. So what you could do is actually drag it in here. Now, what's cool about this is actually what I'm going to do first is I'm going to give him a weapon, and we're going to call it a, I don't know, a ram. And we're going to give it a damage 1d6. Okay, and no attack bonus. This is a little off. I need to fix that. Okay, so we're going to go in here and drag it. Okay, so notice this all gets in there. Now, what's cool about this is the player can actually roll this from his character sheet. And this is actually damage. So you can see when I drag this, oh, it's an attack, right? But when I drag this, it should make the little blood. See the little blood symbol behind it? I can actually drag that on my character sheet. So I have a Banshee on here, and let's heal him up. So I can drag the attack on there, okay, to miss, and I can actually drag the damage. I slayed the Banshee. Okay, yeah, because the Banshee has no hit points. Let's update that. We'll go into this in a minute. Okay, maybe if I unlock this. All right. Jesus Christ. Okay, so now I can drag the damage on there, and he can take some damage. Okay, what's cool about this is I could take this vehicle right here, and I can drag it to the combat tracker now. And now the Banshee can actually attack the Trojan horse. Neat, huh? Okay, and the player can actually use the vehicle off their character sheet. Now, for some of the games, like if you have a tank or a spaceship, like they're immune to like handguns or whatever, and it actually is scripted for that. But in Swords of Wizardry, it's not. Okay, so just be aware of that. But I just wanted to go over this vehicle tab real quick. We'll go through it in some of the other games that like Operation White Box uses the tank, but it's available. You could use it for Swords of Wizardry, for siege weapons. Again, pretty neat, pretty cool how it integrates with the combat tracker, and the player can control it. Okay, so let's go to inventory. So inventory is as you would expect. All right, it's just like every other one. It does have encumbrance. There is this carry mod on there, so that is factored into the encumbrance automatically. And then there's the notes tab, just like you're used to. Okay, so we kind of talked about combat a little bit. It's a fully integrated combat tracker. You can target, players can drop damage, all of that. Saves are completely integrated on here. Okay, I do want to talk about NPCs. So the way NPCs are created, let me pull one out of here. Bear. Okay, so here's a bear. So notice that when you create an NPC, there is a die there. Now, if I go and I create an encounter, all right, and I add this bear to it, okay, so I kind of made this like completely open so that the player can have full control. So we're going to call this a bear encounter. And what I mean by that is I could specify the hit points on the encounter, okay? I can specify this bear's hit points on this. So like if you're putting in a 1E adventure and it says this orc has 6 hit points, you can actually give him 6 hit points there, okay? This is like the current, this is the max. I probably need a label on that. Okay, but if I don't, if I just want to use the Swords and Wizardry rules and I wanted to roll it randomly, all I do is I just add him to the combat tracker and then add it, and you can see he got 23 hit points. And hopefully that's right, because he's got 4 hit dice plus 1, and so it basically rolled the 8 4 times. Like you didn't see it; it was behind the scenes, and then added 1 to it, and that's how he got it. So if I add him again, this time he's going to have 20. Oh Jesus! Okay, this time, see, sometimes it's the same. So this time he has 12, and then 18, and then another 18. It's a 21. You know, it's the FG random generator where it gives you the same number multiple times. So just be aware that's there. There's this little button down here. Like, it's not double click, so just be careful, because if you click it once, they all go away. So if people complain about that, I might get rid of it. But I think I added it for testing, and I was like, oh, this is kind of convenient. So anyways, so that's how NPCs work. NPCs also have their own power tab. Theirs is set up a little bit different because they don't have, you know, Sure, NPCs can have spell slots and stuff, but really they're gonna cast some spells until the players kill them or they win, and then it's over, right? So you can just drag spells onto here. Okay, and we can actually, let's find one with this has an effect, I believe. Oh, not on, no it doesn't. Let's see. I'm not even sure if, I mean there's Cure Light Wounds, it'll roll a heal. If we go to the character sheet though, we can see some of these are going to have effects. Let's do a blur's not one. What's a bless? Is that too many games? So if I drag this into here, I can click and I can see it. It gives you an attack of 1 and improves morale if the recipient is not a player character. So, and this attack is actually in the game. So we can actually just drag this and add it to it. Okay, so see, sometimes I kind of get off random subjects. All right, let's go back to the NPC. I get distracted. Okay, so we're talking about powers. Yeah, so that's how the powers work, right? It actually makes a local copy there, so you can go in there and edit these all you want. And then the notes, and when I built the monsters in, I made sure that the stat block was there. All right, so that's about it. So there's a little thing down here called tags, and I did this for Old School Essentials too. And so this is something I left it in there because I might go back in later and add some stuff. But like if we wanted to have Bane damage, like if it was a dragon, we could put the tag for dragon in there. And if you had the weapon set up, you could do it for Bane damage. So I left that in there. Right now it's not used, okay? The only other thing I want to talk about that I put in this rule set that's kind of neat is, let's see if I actually did. Sometimes I mean to do things. So let's look at the lantern. It is. I have to go back in there and update the core books. But if I have this hooded lantern here, and we can open it here, you can see there's this effects field. And what I can do, I like to pull it from here. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to add this so I can copy it real quick. All right, I'm going to add that to it. All right, now I'm going to delete this horse. All right, so now I have this hooded lantern on this guy that has this effect, okay? Now to show you what it does, I'm actually going to use a map. FG Battle Maps, Images, Cave. All right, so I'm going to add the dwarf. Now he has we're going to equip this hooded lantern. Oh, I think I forgot to code this. Let's see. There it goes. He just needed to be added like that. Now where's he at? Oh, I gotta add him on here. Oh, I had the wrong character. Who do I have here? Fighter Strength Dwarf. Oh, no wonder it wasn't updating. I didn't have the right character. I was like, why doesn't this guy have dark vision? Let me, we want to go here, open this up. Oh, Jesus Christ, what happened to my battle map? Bear with me, operator error. All right, so, okay, that's better. All right, so I'm gonna turn it off. Now he should just have dark vision. He doesn't for some reason. Okay, but you can see that if I equip the hooded lantern, wow, it was there, but now it's not there. Why is that? You know, I'm actually gonna blame this last update. Let's see what happens. All right, so it's equipping the lantern to him. but oh, okay, I can see it now. Oh, because I had this vision off. Sorry, guys. All right, so let's do it like so. There, it's dark, and he can see. So, wow, that was 5 minutes to like explain this. So basically, I added item effects. So it could work as a ring of protection. It can work as a lantern. It can work as a torch, where you can unequip it and equip it, and it'll automatically add lighting. Now, why doesn't this guy's dark vision? Oh, you know what? Because it's misspelled. Hilarious. All right. See, I love doing these videos because I have $5. So look at this dark vision. It's kind of neat. It's like gray, right? But then I can put in a lantern on him. And okay, and it works. All right, so I wanted to show you guys that. And I love doing these videos because I always find bugs. And so that is a bug in the actual race. Like I bet it's misspelled right there. Look at that. It's just misspelled. I'll go fix that. But I just wanted to show you guys that on the map. So that's the last thing I added that's unique to this rule set. 2E does it. I added it to Old School Essentials recently, but that's about it. So, okay, so I think I went through everything. I went through class, I went through race, I went through skills. You can drag and drop, spells, items. You can sort these by type, and you can open them up. All these magic items are built into the magic book, right? And then the regular ones, like the chainmail, is built into the player's book. So they're all there ready to go. And each of these can have an effect on it. So you can add pretty cool effects to it. So I think that's it. It's a 20-minute video. It's a little bit long. If you got questions, just post them here on YouTube, or you can find us on just the Fantasy Grounds Discord channel or Fantasy Grounds forums. Thanks, guys.